Hello and welcome to the February 9th edition of the Daily Forex Report. As some of you I'm sure have noticed, I've been out the past couple of days, actually just returned from Haiti. Did some couple of days down there, some charity work. So I am back and let's go ahead and jump right into it. First, looking at the US Japanese yen pair. This pair pretty much closed even after surging higher today. It did move higher before pulling back. We are looking for this pair to potentially go as high as 83.01, possibly as low as 81.81. Look for some resistance around 82.65 and look for some support around 81.95. Now the EURUSD pair surged to the upside, did have a swing trade set up there from the previous bar. You can see that it broke through that, closed higher. We are looking for this pair overall to be moving sideways. Look for this pair to potentially go as high as 138.75, possibly as low as 135.31. Look for some resistance around 138.15 and look for some support around 136.05. Now the pound US dollar pair, this pair created an inside bar over this past session. It did close up. It is moving sideways. Look for it to potentially go as high as 162.27, possibly as low as 159.59. Look for some resistance around 161.75 and look for some support around 160.25. Now the US Swiss, it broke the previous session's high, did close lower, however. We are looking for this pair to potentially go as high as 0.9717, possibly as low as 0.9464. Look for some resistance around 0.9659 and look for some support around 0.9521. Now, as far as news announcements go, we have the Bank of England releasing their asset purchase targets at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on that is that it's going to hold at 200 billion. We also have the Bank of England releasing their rate decision at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on that is that they're going to hold at 0.50%. Now, what am I looking for over this next session? There we go. Let's take a look at the US Japanese yen pair. Zoom out a little bit. You can see here we have an area here, here, and here that spiked up and then pulled lower. Did the same thing during this last session. So let's draw a couple of trend lines real quick and kind of take a look at what the results are. We have this one. This didn't quite get high enough. Let's go ahead and take a look. If we grab it from here, match it up, and from here to here. I know typically trend lines you want at least 3 different points. For our purposes today, we really don't need 3. We're looking at 2 basically. The other interesting thing about this is that we have a swing trade setup. We have a bar that has in the middle has a lower high than the bar before it and after it. We also have one, it also has a lower low than the bar before and after it. So we have a swing trade setup. So if you draw another trend line, grabbing these 2 points for it, you can see that we have a potential here that if the market were to move higher, we could look to buy on this lower one and then look to sell on the break of the swing trade line. Now, that's typically where we actually would buy in for it to go higher. So at that point, you could either move to break even and see if it will go through some of these other points, or you can just exit at a profit. Here we have about 13 pips, then up to 18, and a total of about 28. So there are a couple exits there that you could use. If you wanted to pull more pips out, you could go to break even and see how far it will run, drop down to a lower time frame, and monitor it that way. Now let's take a look at the pound US dollar pair. This pair did create an inside bar, so we have potential for a breakout. either to the upside or the downside. You can see that this was an area of support, which was previously an area of resistance. Several bars back, several sessions back, we do have a potential for it to come down to this point and grab a couple of pips. I do believe it'd go through that fairly quick. To the upside, we have this area of resistance, and it could go higher up to the next 2 points, but let's just take a look at these two. Right now we have a opportunity to grab about 38 pips to the downside, and to the upside about 26. You can use a risk to reward of 1-to-1, looking to buy and then to exit. Same thing here, look to sell or similar, and then look to exit. So either way this pair breaks out, either to the upside or the downside, at that point you could enter a trade. Interesting thing about that is we had about 62 pips to go to the upside and 71 to the downside, so it could break either way. It's kind of in the middle, so look for that particular trade. Well, that about wraps us up for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.